talk about the impact Miles has had on independent baseball in general.
Could you talk a little bit about the impact that Miles had on independent baseball in general?
Miles Wolff was, and in my estimation, is independent baseball.
As far as I'm concerned, Miles is the father of independent baseball.
In the sport of baseball, Miles Wolff is a towering figure. The former publisher of Baseball America, the industry's preeminent publication, one-time owner of the Durham Bulls, the legendary minor league ball club, and the man who's considered to be the father of modern independent baseball, who first started the Northern League back in 1992.
Independent baseball, nobody knew what that was. So I think just in the early days of trying to travel around, there were 6 cities in the original Northern League. He probably traveled to 20 or 25 trying to sell them on it. So that shows that, yeah, a lot of people thought it was kind of a crazy idea.
Miles was there from the very beginning. It was Miles' idea, but it was Miles who really looked at the country and said, oh, hey, look at the upper Midwest could really use this thing called independent baseball. Simply stated, we didn't have affiliations. We had not any need to kowtow to the commissioner's office. Independent meant totally independent.
The Northern League was a hit. Stadiums were packed as fans responded to the talent, the passion, and the purity of the game.
Fans go to a game wanting to see their home team win. And in affiliated baseball, that's not necessarily the case or the first priority. They're to develop players. So it's really a much more pure form of baseball, and one that really the fans can get behind and the fans can appreciate.
As the league continued to grow, Miles was instrumental in giving communities the belief that independent baseball was worth investing in.
The other thing Miles talked about, which is very important to me, about how independent baseball, minor league baseball, can be sustainable in communities like Lincoln, which really was a very, very important part of our decision to move forward. And, he was also a real gentleman, somebody that, you learn to trust real quick. And, it's been a great 22 years with Miles. And, we're very proud of what he helped us get done in Lincoln, Nebraska.
And the success of the independent Northern League didn't go unnoticed beyond the Midwest.
As the league burgeoned and as the league succeeded and as 27 other copycat leagues sprang up around the country, he really became the godfather of independent baseball.
After 10 successful years, Wolff stepped down as head of the Northern League in 2002. But in 2006, he helped launch the American Association, becoming its first commissioner. The majority of teams from the Northern League would ultimately make the switch to join Miles, a testament to his leadership, and it added immediate credibility to the new league.
Whatever Miles was involved with the league, whether it's the Northern League or the American Association, he commanded an awful lot of respect from all of the other leagues and everyone in baseball in general.
I think a lot of the teams from the old Northern League still had respect for him for the way that he went about doing things, the way the league went about doing things.
There hasn't been a person that I've ever spoken to who didn't have the utmost respect for Miles. And as I say, having him do what he did brought credibility to the league that he was involved with.
The respect was always there between the commissioner and his teams, but Miles had a vision as to how he wanted his league to be run, and he had the final word.
We'd have a lot of discussions on a lot of different points, but we'd never get to vote. Miles was just kind of say, okay, let's move on. And so I don't think the first 5 years we ever got to vote.
Miles and I had a difference of opinion on a decision he made regarding the Winnipeg Goldeyes. So I had a conversation with Miles, and I'm saying, well, Miles, let's just go through it point by point. And I went through my first point, and I said, do you agree? He said, yes, I agree with you. I went through my second point. Do you agree? Yes, I agree with you. I went through my third point. Yes, I agree with you. So now you're going to change your decision? No. That's Miles Wolff. End of story.
What he doesn't have a sense of humor about is one night, Doug Simonik got thrown out of a game, and then, dare I say that our manager then, Marty Scott, got thrown out of the game. And they came to me and said, we got a great idea. The fans would love to see us sumo wrestle. Before they were off the mats, Miles had fined me $1,000.
The American Association is thriving today. Teams are spread across the Midwest, as far north as Manitoba, and as far south as Texas. Fargo-Moorhead, Gary South Shore, Kansas City, Lincoln, Winnipeg, Sioux City, and Sioux Falls all trace their lineage back to the old Northern League under Wolff's stewardship. He's been named as one of the most influential people in the history of baseball and written several books about the game. He finally stepped down as American Association Commissioner in 2018 after 13 seasons, leaving behind an incredible legacy.
Miles has been more responsible for the changes in baseball the last 50 years than anyone else walking on the planet. He wanted to experiment. He wanted to try things in this league.
He truly believes that baseball is important for cities, that bringing or maintaining baseball in cities is worth working towards.
From a lot of us in professional baseball, I think it goes without saying he should be in Cooperstown. If you talk about individuals that have impacted baseball throughout North America and really the world, Miles Wolff's name should be near the top.
The man who took over as league commissioner after Miles Wolff stepped down still marvels at the accomplishments of his predecessor.
It's funny because when I asked Miles what it was like at the start, he said he looked for stadium lights and a parking lot and home plate. And now if you look at the overhead photos of the stadiums now, we have some of the best stadiums in North America. I stand on the shoulder of a giant, a man who brought professional baseball to now millions who were bereft of that previously, to a group of people that Major League Baseball left by the wayside. And without Miles, thousands of people would be unemployed. Joy would be gone from a lot of cities, the joy that baseball brings. And the one thing that Miles built that remains today is the ability to be romantic about baseball. I truthfully believe the American Association is still the league that you can be romantic about as it relates to baseball, and it's all due to Miles.
And it's a walk-off home run! So we're having a Hall of Fame luncheon as we've started and created the American Association Hall of Fame. Our inaugural class, I thought I should probably tell you who's in it. It's a sole class, one member, and that one member's you. So you're going to be our inaugural class.
Or Mike Beck or any of those good
Miles
people?
Wolff.
All right. Well, I do. This is great. I do so think.
No, and Miles, it's the least we could do for what you've done for the baseball industry. Truthfully, Miles, if it was up to me, we'd be talking about Cooperstown.
Ever since he's been 8, 9, 10 years old, he's loved the game, he's wanted to be around it, and he's been lucky and successful enough to be able to make a 50-year career out of it. It's a huge honor, and it shows kind of the effect that he's had and the role he's played.
Miles, I very much want to congratulate you for your induction into the Hall of Fame. To me, it's the appropriate route to go, and having you in there, I think, is a major statement on your contributions. Your love for the game is unbelievable. You cherish it, you respect it.
You're a great person, great guy. Glad to call you my friend. And again, a well-reserved recognitions and congratulations again.
Congratulations and welcome. It was a unanimous vote. We're happy for you, Miles Wolff, on this day.
No one is more deserving, Miles, than you, and I applaud the American Association for making you the inaugural honoree. I'm your disciple. I've always been and continue to be. Thank you. You changed a lot of lives. You certainly changed mine.